So the moment has finally arrived in the latest spoilers of Jujutsu Kaisen, where we finally see Yuji and Higuruma faces against Sukuna, and we finally see the plan and motions on how they were able to organize and pick the people on who's going to be fighting who. Because we get a flashback when the sorcerers are having a meeting to trying to figure out their plan. That's if Gojo lose. So if Gojo lose, which has happened, Yuta will be the one to face against Kenjaku and make sure that his guard is let down. And so when his guard is let down, Yuta will go on ahead and finish him off and come back to the battlefield where Sukuna is, so that way they can go on ahead and try to finish him off. So the big mystery is who's going to be facing against Sukuna, since Kusasabe says that they need to choose who's going to be fighting and who's not, as Kashimo has lashed out at them, saying that it's an all-out war, so everyone should jump in. As Kusasabe says, Miwa can't fight due to her binding vow that she made in Shibuya, and she will never swing her sword. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Miwa made that binding vow during the event of Shibuya when she was fighting against Kenjaku. It was around that time when Yuji was about to finish off Mahito, but then Kenjaku came in, stepped in, and then we see that it was an all-out battle with the other high schoolers trying to stop Kenjaku and the other ice queen. I just forgot her name at the moment. Urami. So let me know down in the comment section if that was the moment when she made the binding vow. So Kamo is in the meeting too, and he apologized and says that he can't partake in the mission because he couldn't be any help when he wants to watch over his family as much as possible. So he is taking his family and leaving the country. As Kusasabe says, for those who can use reverse curse technique, those who wants to die already are okay to die will join in the battle. Others will stay as support. So Yuji is trying to make Kamo feel better because Kamo said that he is not much of a help, but Yuji said that he learned a lot since Chozo sucks at being a teacher, which Chozo has a dumbfounded face like, really, bruh? As Kamo says, I see. But Higuruma says that he will go after Kashimo because he will use his curse technique to go on ahead and confiscate Sukuna's curse technique. And he also added that he will give Sukuna the death penalty so that way he can fight and using his sword. So then Kashimo is actually, bitter in between, as he says, do you seriously think that I will lose? I'm getting pissed. As Hikari says that it's just a assumption. We all appreciate that you are giving up your spot for Gojo. As Kashimo says that I'm not satisfied yet. So Kusasabe asks if Higuruma can confiscate and lead the death penalty on Sukuna for sure. As Yuji said that it depends on what charges will the judgment use, which Higuruma couldn't choose. Yuji says that Sukuna has switched 3 times so far and has killed many people whenever when he switched. And then Higuruma summarized Sukuna's wrong as there just been a huge list of what he has done, which is very hilarious. But then Higuruma further says that after taking over Megumi's body, Sukuna can be charged with harming Megumi and complete the murder and stealing dead body, all of these depending on the situation Megumi is in. But Higuruma says a questioning Sukuna's crimes on the harm of his finger has caused is harder. As Higuruma, when he summarized the sentencing process, he says murder serving prison time for 10 to 15 years, murders is a life sentence or a death plea. Murder and or more is a death penalty. As Kusasabe says that if it's a normal judgment, then adding up all of these crimes Sukuna committed, then he will get the death penalty for sure. But Higuruma's curse technique and the judgment picks up one crime at a time. So the charges and plenty is one at a time. Penalty is one at a time. So they go into more details about the charges that they could put for Sukuna, and Yuji also has a conversation with Higuruma about the crimes that Sukuna did 1,000 years ago. But the issue is simply it's just more of a gray area because the Code of Criminal Procedures was modified in 2010, and there is no statutes of limitations on murder for anyone. And so no murder before 1985 has a statute of limitations placed on them. Plus, Sukuna was in the Heian era. So there's not a statute of limitation placed in the legal system. Higuruma says that modern laws might not work on a pre-reincarnated Sukuna. Judgment is a Shimigami equipped to his curse technique, so it won't if Higuruma thinks it's impossible. Judgment will probably think the same, but Higuruma says that he doesn't know which curse technique of Sukuna will be confiscated. The 10 Shadows of Malevolent Shrine. Yuji suddenly says that there might be a way which we will guarantee a death sentence for Sukuna. So then we go and back into the fight where Mei using her crows near Sukuna, but Sukuna goes on ahead and destroy it immediately as Mei, who was looking at it from a far away distance, realized that her crows won't work on likes of Gojo, Kenjaku, and Sukuna. But Mei says that she's managed to distance from Sukuna for a bit, and now everything is up to Higuruma. As Higuruma used the huge hammer to destroy Sukuna's stance, and Yuji crushed the debris into small pieces and send them flying towards Sukuna, and Higuruma managed to bend Sukuna's weapon, and Yuji was able to land a heavy punch, and Sukuna felt the punch where his whole entire body starts to shake, and he was wondering what was it. And then Higuruma opened his domain, deadly sentence against Sukuna. Yuji tells Higuruma that they can use the trial from the time they are both fighting and use it against Sukuna and can add Sukuna as a co-defendant as the mass murder in Shibuya and sentence Sukuna. And then Higuruma began the trial against Yuji and Sukuna, and judgment says that Yuji is a suspect of the mass murder of Shibuya, but Higuruma defense says that Yuji didn't kill anyone and says that the confusion was due to the sense of responsibility. But the true criminal is, and then the chapter ends as Higuruma is looking at Sukuna, and Sukuna is just smiling because he is just loving this, what he's hearing right now as a true villain. And that's just how the chapter ends. But Jujutsu Kaisen is on break next week, so we have to wait another week to see how everything is going to be played out. But this is just really crazy just to see how, all their plans is working so smooth, and just to see, what charges that, Sukuna is going to have, and also to what abilities is going to be confiscated from him. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter and what you guys think about, these spoilers and everything else. Let me know down in the comment section. If you guys do like the video, hit the like, subscribe button, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.